what you just said in there, we're fighting for each other. That's the couple who thinks I want this marriage, but you want a bad marriage, right? And that what that does is you start trying to solve problems against each other in spite of each other. You start trying to build a good marriage in spite of your partner, and that creates a cortisol association in your brain with the brain. It says this person is too stressful. I cannot solve problems with them. Get them away from me. And even if you love them, your brain doesn't like them. That cortisol floods whenever you try to solve a problem with them. When you do this, when you unify those 6 pillars or whatever tactic you're going to use, when you do that, you start solving problems. Then you start saying, okay, what's the obstacle here? We both want this marriage, this together. We're a team now. We both want the same thing, like you said, right? How do we get there? And as you unlock pieces and start building that marriage, your brain actually starts releasing vasopressin. Vasopressin is the bonding hormone that releases when you solve problems together. High performers are huge on vasopressin, right? This is why we usually bond with anybody in our life, is because we have achieved a goal with them. And the brain says, they helped me build this. I'm going to stay around them for the rest of my life. And it initiates oxytocin bonding, which then drives that emotional intimacy. It makes you want to go greet your partner at the door. It makes you want to squeeze their butt as they walk by in the hallway, right? It's because you've achieved goals together. You eliminate the cortisol association, you boost the vasopressin association. Now emotional intimacy is very easy. Now it's easy for you to like each other. That's where we step into phase 2 with couples. When they say, all right, how do we build a better marriage? Well, number 1, you unify around it. You start solving the problems, vasopressin bonding. Number 2, you institute oxytocin bonding. Now, it's maybe 30 minutes a night. Once you get in that right groove with each other, my wife and I, for example, end of the night, right? I work a number of hours taking care of my business and building that out. And I get to take lunches with my kids. It's fantastic, right? It's wonderful. She's an incredible stay-at-home mom. She's also homeschooling them. So end of the night, 9:30, we sit down and we're like, ugh. And we know, okay, we got about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes until the sleepies take us over. And we got to get up early at 5:30 to get the breakfast and stuff going again. So what do? Well, we sit down, we got a comfortable couch. We sit down on the couch and we turn on an old movie that we are not going to watch. We turn on lately. It's been like 1990s, 1980s Batman movies,
Okay.
with
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, fantastic. You just put them on. They're campy. You laugh. Sometimes it's Die Hard. Great movie for this kind of stuff. I'm going to sell 1 million Die Hard DVDs for marriage couples now. But it's you put on a movie you're not going to watch. And what it does is it gives you something to aim towards, so you're not just staring at each other awkwardly like this, trying to have a conversation. Any good therapist will tell you, especially if you're working with kids, you have to have an activity that you're doing so that you can disengage that part of the brain, but then start speaking. And then we hold hands. Make sure prioritize physical contact. If your cortisol is low, physical contact initiates that oxytocin bonding, which initiates GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid in the brain, which encourages melatonin. So you'll sleep better at night. It's also making you stronger against cortisol intrusions in the future. So GABA is an incredible thing that you mostly get through that cortisol, through the oxytocin release in your marriage. So holding hands, physical contact. My wife will lean against me and kind of snuggle. She's got a baby because we just had a baby 7 weeks ago. So she's got a baby on her, and then she's on me, and I'm like, all right, crushed against the side of the couch. But we're happy because you're in that happy sleep, the snuggle pile, right? And your body starts releasing oxytocin. Then we start talking about our day, and I say, babe, what we do wins and challenges. What was your win today, and what was a challenge that you faced? And she'll tell me, oh, the win was this and this. The kids did great. They're ahead in studies. They're like 2 years ahead in their math. They're brilliant kids. She's like, they did this. It was phenomenal. Challenge was, this child didn't sleep very good last night, so their behavior was off today. We were kind of going back and forth. It took a long time to get them back on track. I don't even know if I did by the end of the day. I feel like I flubbed something there. I don't know what I was doing, but I'll get back on track tomorrow. And I say, okay. I don't even solve her problem. I just say, okay, sounds like you got it. If you need any help, let me know. Sometimes she'll ask for advice. Sometimes she won't. But just being heard and being connected, she loves that. She says, what was your win? What was your challenge? Oh, I was on this great podcast with Scott. We got to just talk and have a fantastic conversation. It was so cool. Challenge today, whatever the challenge will be today. I'm sure something will happen. It always does. And then we talk about it and we just feel seen and heard. We relax and unwind. There's structured ways for doing this, you guys, especially men who don't know how to share and bond, right? Even Ooh. Wait a minute now, Scott. Would you like me to share my 4 point interaction for men who want to build emotional intimacy with their wife in 4 points?
Let's do it. 4
It just
points.
occurred to me, but that's something we could teach right now.
Let's do it.
You're gonna like this one, Scott. Okay. So guys always come to me and they say, Adam, I want to have more sex with my wife. And I say, okay, well, to do that, you're probably gonna have to make her like you more. Then they say, well, all right, how do I do that? All right, well, we'll build emotional intimacy. What the heck does that mean? Okay, emotional intimacy is when you open up to her and you reveal yourself a bit to her emotionally. Well, that's going to be gross and that's going to be weird and I don't want to cry. Well, you don't have to cry. Here's what you're going to do. Solution focused sharing, okay? The male brain, it observes problems and then acts upon them, back to front, right, back to front. The female brain observes a problem and then goes back and forth across the hemispheres and then spits out a solution. So it takes a little bit longer, but it analyzes your solutions is what it is. So you're going to go to your wife, you're going to click in with her like this. Your brains are going to click, and you're going to say, "Hey, babe, can I get 10 minutes of your time to run something by you?" She's going to say, yes, you've never done this before. Yeah, okay. You'll say, okay, here's a problem I'm having, right? So you share number one, you share a problem you are facing. This is not complaining. You're gonna say, I'm running something by you to get feedback. There's this guy at work. He's a jerk. He won't stop talking to me. He's always kind of problems. He's always kind of rude. I don't know, and he's just there. Okay, share the problem. A relational problem, they love it. So even better. Relational problem. Then you share how the problem is making you feel so that you're a relatable human being and she can see what your feelings are like and how you respond to things. This guy is annoying the heck out of me. I can't stand it. It's making it hard to work. I'm very frustrated. Okay. Step number 3, you share the solution that you as a man probably have already thought of, or that you've got a solution from another guy. I think I'm just going to hit him with a brick. That will solve this problem. He will stop talking and he will no longer be a jerk because he will be unconscious. It will be perfect. I have the perfect brick out front in the yard. I'm going to take it to work tomorrow with me. Isn't this a great idea? Okay. Most guys at this point will stop and say, well, if I already have a solution, why am I telling my wife? This is just complaining. That's an extra step. I will just go do the thing that I'm going to do. Right? Pause. The reason that you're connecting with her is actually to analyze that solution to see if there's other effects that you're not thinking about, or see if there's a better way to do what you're about to do, right? Other men can't usually do that. They'll tell you if the solution will work, but women will tell you what the effects of that solution will be. That's how their brains are designed to work. So you say these magic words. Before I do that, do you have any insight to share with me? Can you see anything that I've missed? And she'll say, well, a brick would be very effective, but have you considered blah, 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 blah? If you do that, this will happen. Their brain will say, if this happens, this relationship will be interrupted. This will happen. This will happen. These are how all the interrupted relationships will all hit each other across the ecosystem. So instead of that, here's an alternate. What do you think of this? Women will usually ask you a question. What do you think of this? And they'll propose a different solution. You'll go, how did you think of all those things? Okay, yeah, actually, that makes sense. I appreciate that feedback. I'll give that some thought, and I'll think about doing that tomorrow instead. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then end of the conversation. It's that easy, right? You run the solution by her, and it's going to be whatever it's going to be, and she'll share something. You thank her for it. Here's why this works. Number one, you are opening up emotionally to her. Women are designed to love this biochemically and socially. Their brains are designed to say, he's confiding in me. He's sharing with me. I now understand how his brain works. And so I feel more secure and safe. But this makes me valuable in his life. In fact, if a blonde haired bikini bimbo walks by who's 19 years old, he won't leave me for her, because over the years, as he opens up to me and I learn to give him better and better advice, nobody can ever replace me, and he's investing in me. I am safe and secure, and this is why their emotional intimacy goes up. Then they like you, then they trust you, then their sex drive goes through the roof. Then you can't get a night off because they're chasing you down the hallway. So if you want that effect, those are the 4 points. Scott, what do you think of those? I bet you already do that with your wife, don't you?
I think sometimes. I think I still I'm still an entrepreneur and a hard worker and somebody that puts his head down and just likes to finish the job. And then when I'm asked about what it was like or what I did or what I went through, I don't like to relive it. So it's challenging for me to do that. And so to bring in, and I'm also a solutions person. I handle a lot of things. So we recently had a great I think our kids are teenagers, and we have one getting ready to go to college. We have one living away, playing soccer in an academy. And so we're at this almost like empty nest mode in our lives. and there's a reliance upon each other that changes. And so I'm noticing that I'm more willing and I'm trying harder to open up about the process versus just the solution and the ending. So, if she talks about retirement from teaching in the future, right, and when she's going to do that, right, the old me would say, "Give me the number. I'll call the person that handles it. Let me." Now, I she gathers the information. We talk about it. Like I have to make sure that together we're a part of it, even if it's what I've done my whole life in my career. It's important that we're learning and growing in this together. And so I'm humbly admitting I've been bad at it for many, many years. I'm also admitting that I'm trying to be better. So that's a long answer to a short question.
Most men are bad at this, right? We only have to get a little unbad at it. And the more that you can do this, the more oxytocin you give her, the more serotonin you give her, the more actually that your life improves. You don't have to be perfect at this. You just do it once in a while and she will love it. And then you will love it too. And then it becomes second nature because what you love becomes what you do. That's the pattern. You get rewarded for the things that you like. So
If you like clips like this, I have a similar clip here. And if you want to watch the full video, click here.